country is going into lockdown. So I told myself that I need to make some routines. I need to have some routines about my training program. How can I help at home? Because I think helping at home is very important, especially during these times, because we don't have anyone at home, no help at home, and I think me and Radhika, my wife, we are managing everything. So I think I made all the plans for myself. I generally last from 3-4 months. I've been starting my day around 5 o'clock in the morning. I do my yoga, my meditation, my training sessions, so that I can actually finish all the training sessions or yoga sessions around 7 o'clock, and then I'm all with my daughter whenever she wakes up. And whenever, again, during the day when she sleeps, I help my wife for whatever work we have at home. I help my wife, and yeah, that's about it. I think I kept it really simple, but it's all about keeping your mind positive and keeping yourself busy, even during this time, is really important.
How good were you in your studies? I'll start off with that right now.
See, frankly speaking, I was really good in studies. I don't want to appreciate myself. I don't want to tell good thing about myself, but yeah, I was actually really good in my studies. But I think for me, it was all about, yes, studies was important, but playing outdoor sports, doing outdoor activities was equally important. So my intention of playing cricket and also doing my karate, it was all about just go outdoor and do some activities so that mentally I'm fit, mentally I'm in very good space, and also physically it helps me a lot. But yeah, academy-wise, studies-wise, I was really good. What I learned from my father was, he told me, if you play cricket, you'll play till 38 or 40. But after that, if you have very good education, that will help you a lot after your cricket. So yes, studies are very important. I believe playing outdoor sports, be it any sport, cricket or any sport, is also very equally important.
What do you think you would have had as a profession? What do you think you would have been doing otherwise?
I think that's a difficult question, but see, I am very much passionate. I'm very much love Air Force. So, if not cricket, then obviously in the Air Force. Yeah.
What kind of role sports has played in your life for the last 20-25 years since you've been doing it now? A small gist if you can give us.
Started karate. Because of karate, my intention was to just sit home and do things. Intention was to just go outside and do some activities. And luckily, we used to live in Dombivli my first 15 years. And close to our building, there was a karate academy. And we thought that I think this is the best opportunity to learn something new. Because I was doing my cricket practice in the morning in Dombivli, my schools were in the afternoons, and then evening, obviously my karate classes. So because of karate, that helped me a lot in my cricket, as in flexibility-wise, agility-wise, obviously fitness-wise, but also mentally, how mentally tough you are in karate. I mean, there are situations sometimes which are really tough. You got to conquer those situations. I mean, practicing in heavy rainy season, your exams sometimes are in the rainy season. Your practical exams are in rainy season. So it's all about, I think, having that mental toughness, flexibility and agility from karate. That helped me a lot. And cricketing wise, again, as I said, intention was to just go outdoor and do some activity. Yes, I still love cricket. I'm very much passionate about cricket, and it was all about going outside and just enjoying my game rather than thinking about the results or outcome. I believe that it's not about results or outcome. If you focus on your process, if you focus on your what you can control in that moment, your results and outcome, you'll achieve whatever you want to achieve automatically. You got to stay in that moment and just enjoy that moment and give more than 100% in that moment, whatever you're doing. So yeah, I think coming back what you asked, I think cricket and karate, basically it was all about physical fitness wise and also mentally fitness wise, but karate especially taught me a lot about my patience, about agility, flexibility, and yeah, as I said, mental toughness.
Super, super. So the gist is for kids to go out and play more often and be active, right?
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, it's not that. I mean, whoever is listening here, I think I just want to tell everyone that please don't sit at home. You can sit at home now in Corona during this time, but whenever this ends, whenever this Corona ends, please don't sit at home. Just go outside, do whatever you want to do, be it cricket, tennis, badminton, a local sport like Kho-Kho, Kabaddi, whatever you like. Just play any other sport, because sport actually teaches you a lot in your life.
Nice.
Sometimes we don't learn in our schools, we don't learn from our books, but actually sport teaches you a lot about your life lessons. So please go outdoor and play, do some outdoor activities, just enjoy yourself.
Platform like PiggyRide, which allows children now to have explore so many platforms online.
I mean, when I was playing, my aim was to just go in any academy and express myself. I think it's all about expressing yourself, enjoying your game. It's not that you are going after a big name or any big academy. I think what is important that whichever academy you go, you should give your 100%, you should give your best. You can come up from anywhere. It's not that you can only come up from the certain academy. Just want to give my example here. I was just like any other kid in Mumbai, in India. I was playing in my building. One of our neighbors saw me. I used to break many window panes. 3-4 complaints every day about breaking window panes. My father, and one of our neighbors saw me and he told my father, why don't you try Ajinkya in the academy? It looks really good. And that's how my journey started. So I went to Dronacharya Cricket Club in Dombivli that time. But again, I'll say intention was to just go there and enjoy the cricket, enjoy the game. Not to think too much about what I want to achieve. Believing in yourself, having trust in your ability, and I think play it with determination. But I want to mention a few academies here. I think there's one academy in Cross Maidan, Vidya Paradkar sir. He's there, so he handles there. That's a very good academy. And one academy at Shivaji Park, Bengal Club, Ravi Namre sir. He's there. So there are 2-3 academies in Mumbai that you can actually go and practice. But as I said, whichever academy you go, you got to give your 100%, more than 100%, and be respectful towards this game.
PiggyRide is a platform where people can come in and check for good academies, have access to more information, and
exactly. I think this is the best platform, as I said earlier. PiggyRide is the best platform to access to many things. For kids, this is the best platform to be engaged and learn something new, achieve what they want to achieve. And especially during these times, this platform will definitely help.
A young child who's a batsman or who's a young bowler, how does he keep improving?
I think it's important that wherever you're practicing and whoever your coach is, it's important to listen to your coach, listen to your coach's ideas, and try and take that idea, try and implement that idea in the net session, and try and see that if it's really helpful for you. But personally, what I feel is till the age of 14 or 15, guys should not think too much about technique. It's about, I think, just play with freedom is very important, and playing fearlessly is really important. After 16 and 17, you can start to think about your technique, what you want to actually do about your game as a batsman or a bowler. But till 14 or 15, you should just focus on enjoying your game. Whatever natural game you have, you should just try and play your game.
Does playing more matches while as a young cricketer, does it help to just tune in your instincts and give you more awareness about how your game is improving? Is that important?
Yes, that really helps you a lot. I think match practice, match situations are always important rather than doing net sessions. In match sessions, you are under pressure. You got to think about your team. You got to contribute for your team. In net sessions, yes, you're not under pressure. You can play any kind of shots. But the mindset should be, whenever you're practicing in the net, you should be thinking as if you're playing a game. You're playing a match. So that same mindset actually will continue whenever you're playing the game. So yes, match practice, playing matches are very important. I believe that you got to see what things can you control. You should not look at things. What you don't have. You should look what you have actually. Whether you are playing with, whether you have 2 or 3 guys with you, try and ask them to instead of bowling from 22 yards, try and ask them to bowl from maybe 14 or 15 yards,
Nice.
and try and ask them to bowl slightly quicker. If you have a cement surface, try and practice with wet rubber balls. Tell someone to throw from 15-16 yards slightly quicker, and you can just practice accordingly so that your hand-eye coordination improves, your reaction time improves. And if you have bowling machine, so what we tried, many times, that I used to bat with bowling machine like 12 to 14 yards, try and increase the speed every time, and just to practice my hand-eye coordination, just to practice my reaction. Doesn't matter if you are middling the ball or not, but it's all about, I think, practicing your hand-eye coordination and your reaction times. You got to try all these things. I think you can tell someone, as I said, ask someone to bowl from 14-15 yards, ask them to bowl slightly quicker. Doesn't matter if you're uncomfortable in the nets. I always my theory is you should actually be uncomfortable in the net, so that whenever you are playing the game, you are actually comfortable over there. So there are many things you can do. So it's all about how can you convert all these things into positive fun, and how can you think positively, whatever things you have.
Did you prepare anything differently before going for South Africa?
Yes, I remember I started my preparations for South Africa 6 months before the tour. During our monsoon season in Mumbai, me and Provinsa, we started our sessions here in Mumbai. I practiced with wet rubber balls, I practiced with synthetic balls, so that my reaction time is really less during our practice session. I was practicing about the bounces as well, without the helmet. So that was the plan, that try and play bouncers without the helmet, so that I can actually watch the ball really well. The main purpose was that about that practice was it was all about watching the ball. As a batsman, important thing is to watch the ball and play accordingly. So
Nice.
I did that, and I think even during when we went to South Africa, I told whoever was bowling at me that time, I told them to bowl bounces in the nets, so that I can actually do practice about my pull and hook shots, and also leaving the ball. But especially about that incident, Dale Steyn's ball, I still remember that one ball hit on my helmet, one ball on my shoulder, and they were just talking about I don't belong here. I should just go inside and
So
sit.
they stretched you there.
Yeah, that
Okay.
time. And I was like, it's okay, it's fine. It's their job. They should talk whatever they want to talk. My aim is to bat well and do well for my country. And I know in India people are watching, whole world was watching. So I don't want to react. I don't want it to react that time. So I went in the dressing room during lunchtime. I didn't eat anything. I was just thinking about how can I dominate South African attack after lunch. How can I dominate them? It was all about putting them on the back foot. And I visualized that for like 15-20 minutes during our lunchtime. And yeah, I think similar thing happened. Whatever I visualized, same thing happened in the middle.
Awesome. So the next question I wanted to ask you, specifically for children who are practicing and parents who are actually taking their children to practice in the nets and all. Nowadays with T20 cricket happening, so much of T20 cricket happening, what about unorthodox shots like a reverse sweep or a dil scoop or a switch hit and all? Should children practice that in the nets, or that is something that it should avoid in a younger age?
See, I feel that I think children should try. Whatever they want to try. As I said, don't think too much about technique, how you look. It was all about what are the impactful shots you can play. Because in today's age, it's all about staying 1 or 2 steps ahead of the game. How can you take your game forward? So I think yes, guys can try whatever shots they want to try, but it's important that you should have your basics right. So don't be afraid. My only message here is don't be afraid to try anything new. Don't worry what if. Whenever you think what if, then you are actually on the back foot. I think our thinking should be, so what? I'll try that, so what? If I fail, so what? So thinking should be like that. But don't worry, don't think too much about the failure. Don't be afraid of the failure. I mean, we all fail. I mean, everyone, you actually learn a lot from your failure than your success. So yes, I think everyone can try. I mean, there's no age limit.
How do you watch them? He said he's read a lot about watching the ball from the hand of the bowler. So how do you watch that ball? What is that process? If you can just give us a short gist about that.
Watching the ball, yes, I think that's a very good question. First important thing is visualization. As a cricketer, I mean, at a early age, we don't know, I mean, our opponents, who is going to bowl at you. But it's important that you should visualize the wrist position of the bowler, and you should just see the ball during visualization and what type of shots you can play on that particular ball. I think visualization helps you a lot. It's all in the mind, right? And I feel whenever you are batting in the nets, just try and watch the ball as close as possible. Whoever is bowling at you, try and watch the wrist position of the batsman. If two guys are batting together and whoever is the non-striker end, try and watch the balls from non-striker end. What is bowler's loading, how is actually releasing the ball, and how is actually holding the ball. So visualization again, one. And whenever you are playing in the net session with your teammates, try and watch the ball as closely as possible.
He wants to start playing cricket professionally, but his parents are saying that they would want him to study and concentrate on studies. So any advice for kind of a problem?
See, I think you should speak your mind. I think communication is really important between kids and their parents. I think communication, frank communication, is really important. And I just want to tell all the parents here that if your kid wants to play cricket or any other sport, and if he tells you that, please support him, please back him, and try and see how he's doing, how hard he's working. So yeah, just try and communicate with your mom and dad, with your parents, and just convince them that you actually love cricket, you are passionate about cricket. And also, studies are also equally important. As I said that, try and first you play cricket, but at the same time, whenever you come at home after your practice sessions, do your studies. Because any sport, you'll play till 38 or till 40 maybe, but after that your education will actually take you forward from there. But yeah, have good communication with your parents, frank communication with your parents, and also parents also, please support your children whatever they want to do.
Are cricket legends born or made? Could you give us an example of a made cricketer?
See, all the cricketing legends, they work really hard. I mean, everyone works really hard. I mean, it's impossible. I mean, we don't see that very often, that guys are working really hard. We only see the result. Yes, I mean, he did so well, he achieved so many things, but behind that, he's been working so hard throughout the years. Example, I mean, Sachin Tendulkar. I mean, people always think about what he had achieved, but the reality is he used to play like 3-4 games every day during his young age. He used to travel from Shivaji Park to Azad Maidan, again Azad Maidan to Shivaji Park to again maybe MIG Club, wherever. So I think everyone works really hard. Again, Rohit Sharma. I remember Rohit was actually telling me that, "Arey, people call me, I'm very talented, but they don't see my hard work." And I can actually tell you that Rohit works really hard. He works like really hard, like any other cricketer. So everyone works really hard, and I mean, all the cricketing legends, they all work really hard. And I think hard work is the thing. As I said, that you can actually success, we don't know what we are going to achieve, but I think only thing we know that we can actually control our work ethics. We can focus on our work ethics and try and give the best for this game. Hi guys, hello. Hope you all are safe, and be positive in this situation. Try and help each other out, and I'm sure everything will be fine.
People who joined us, Mr. Tanmay Sharma, he wanted to know how to stay positive. What is a mindset when things don't go your way? Is there any specific mantra that you can give us?
See, I think it's important, especially talking about cricket. Cricket is a team game. You don't actually score hundreds every time. If you can think about your team and how can you contribute for your team, you are in a positive state of mind. If you think about yourself, if you think about your own outcome, then sometimes we put ourselves under pressure. We don't think then about your team. See, failures, success and failures, they'll be there. But if you are during success and failure, if you are on the same line, if your mental state is similar during success and failure, then you know you are in the right space. So for me, what I do is whenever I'm not doing well, I just try and think about the team. How can I help my team? How can I contribute for my team, so that my pressure automatically eases up? So it's all about, I think, having that mindset, that helping your teammate out, helping your team out, and try and enjoying each other's success, enjoy each other's company, and be happy every time.
There is another question from Priyanshu Ram. He's asking about timing. How to time well on the bat against fast bowlers and how to improve reflexes.
Firstly, talking about timing, it's everyone's style is different. So it's all about, I think, what styles suits you. So you should back your own style rather than copying anyone. And especially doing practice sessions, if you can actually try and tell someone that please throw some balls at me and just look to time the ball, that will come automatically. Talking about reflexes, catching, yes, slip catches are very important. Reflexes are very important. I generally take 100-150 catches every day. So it's all about having that, even now, every day. Whenever you are practicing, take 100-150 catches, so that you know you are, and with different angles. So sometimes with one eye closed and just one eye open, try and take catches from one hand, so that I know my hands are really soft. Taking slip catches, your hand should be very soft, not hard. And also concentration level, focus level is very important. You cannot, as a slip fielder, you cannot concentrate for like more than maybe 6-7 seconds.
Okay.
So you should know when to actually start, stay focused, when to concentrate. I think reflexes are very important. Taking catches from different angles helps me a lot.
Here's a question from Akash Drona. He's saying he understands that playing for India requires a lot of hard work, determination and sacrifice. He's heard, this is a fact. All of us know you've performed better overseas as compared to matches in India. So has it been your strength performing overseas, or has it come naturally through your experience? That is his question.
See, I think performing anywhere is very important. I actually played my initial days of cricket at Wankhede Stadium, and you know Wankhede wicket has very good bounce and very good pace. So I actually love playing on bouncy wickets. Wickets are really fast. So yeah, that's the reason. I think my record is maybe really good overseas. Sometimes in India, you know, when you're batting at number 5, your batting comes when your team score is 350 for 3, and you are just sitting in the dressing room and watching your teammates that scoring runs. You are happy for them, but you're just sitting in the dressing room. Outside India, you know, you're walking into bat when team is struggling. Team is 20 for 3, and I love this type of situation actually. 20 for 3, you know, your team is struggling. You have to do well for your team, so that you can actually put up a good total and you can win from there. Playing outside India is a different challenge, but again, playing in India also has it's a different ball game. When batting middle order, you know, ball is really soft. You know, you have to work really hard for your runs, but I'm enjoying that. So I don't differentiate anything. I think playing for India matters me a lot, and wherever we play, India or abroad, I think goal is to do well for my country.
Do you have any pre-match routines? When do you start your pre-match routines? You can just give us a glimpse into your routines.
Yes, I do have pre-match routines. Depends wherever we are playing. Depends the opponents, but my basically routines, if we are playing in England, I try and practice accordingly. I try and practice with maybe swinging balls. Try and tap one side of tennis ball with the tape and try and swing the ball. If you're playing in Australia, I try and play with wet rubber balls for the reaction. Try and play short balls. If you're playing in New Zealand, maybe my preparations are different. But whenever I'm on the tour, I try and stay positive. I try and trust my preparations, whatever preparations I have done before the series, and just trust my ability. It's all about, I think, being calm on the tour, being positive, and I think having that faith in yourself. One day before the game, I don't do much. I mean, just very light session. It's completely individual, so I'll just do whatever. I mean, I'll just bat for like 5-7 minutes, not more than that. I'll try and take catches, and that's it. But I think 2-3 days before the game, I'll try and practice really hard, build up that momentum before the game, and one day before the game, just keep my mind really calm. Not too much of practice, just be positive and trust in my ability.
There's a question from Neelab Banerjee. What was your most memorable match in your whole career? That's his question.
My whole career, obviously, Lord's game, 103 at Lord's. I still remember that moment. We had a high commission dinner that time, 2 days before the game, and everyone at the dinner was telling me that scoring 100 at Lord's means it's very special. You will actually feel that if you score 100 at Lord's. And I was like, why? Everyone's telling me. One day before the game, room service, everyone from Mumbai, everyone from India, and they were telling me, sir, scoring 100 at Lord's is very special. Please go and score 100. So why is everyone telling me? I think they must be telling everyone, scoring 100 at Lord's. I slept with that thought, and next day morning when I woke up, I said, okay, I'm just going to play. If you're batting first, I'm just going to play one ball at a time. I'll play according to the situation. I walked in. We were again struggling. We were 3 for 30 that time. I had to play that spell out. Everyone was bowling really well. England attack in England, and especially that wicket at Lord's, green top wicket. I said, let's give them respect. Let's buy my time. Let's stay on the wicket. Runs will come automatically. And tea time, we had to take chances. We had to actually accelerate that time. We were 7 down for 120. And I told my partner that let's play aggressive here. If we can score close to 300, we have a chance to win the test match. And we decided to actually play positive cricket. We got 180 runs in that one session. And we scored 325 in first innings. And as I said, we won the game. Ultimately, I end up scoring 103 that game.
Nice.
So I think winning the test match at Lord's after so many years was really special, and also scoring 100 in that game. That's why my Lord's innings is one of the best innings I have played.
She's also an Indian shooter. She's an Indian athlete. Kajal Saini. She's a rifle shooter and she's in the Indian shooting team. She wants you to give her some advice as she's losing hope and interest to practice sessions. Because before the pandemic, she was practicing and she can't do any practice on the range right now. It's shut. So what should we do? She's feeling a little low.
See, I think it's very natural to feel low. It's not different. I mean, everyone, they actually, during these times, it's a very tough time for each and every individual, for sportsmen, sportswomen, or anyone. But I think advice would be to just be mentally positive. Try and think about what you can control now in this moment rather than what is not happening. And try and visualize your practice sessions. Try and visualize the things which you have done before, good things which you have done before. Try and think about that. Try and think about good about yourself rather than bad about yourself. So all these things we can control as an athlete. So my message is just 10-15 minutes during the day, just try and think about your practice sessions. Try and visualize your goal, what you want to achieve, and just stay calm and composed.
Sibu had a question about your first test 100.
So my first 100 in New Zealand, obviously. Before that, I remember getting out on 96 in Durban, South Africa. So that 96 taught me a lot. When I was batting there, around 70 odd, and I got 18-20 runs in 1 over. And I was on 96. I thought I'll just hit a boundary and get my 100. I tried to hit the boundary and got out. That was the last wicket. I was obviously disappointed, but after that, when we went to New Zealand, the plan was when I was on 90. I said I'll play one ball at a time. If it has to happen, it will happen. I'm not going for 100. I'm just playing one ball at a time and playing merit of the ball, and that's how I actually made my 100. So I think, those 96 runs against South Africa taught me a lot, and I was really disappointed missing out on 100 in Durban against South Africa. But first 100 is always special. You always remember your first 100. But for me, I think it's all about contributing for your team. Whether you score 100 or not, even if you score 30, 40 sometimes, that means a lot to me. But I think contribution for your team is the topmost priority.
Anshu has a question. He wants to know how he can play a reverse sweep. He's a left-handed batsman.
You should ask someone to bowl at you, undrum maybe. Start with undrum and just try and do switch it. That's it. So what I generally practice is I'll try and ask someone to bowl undrum, start with undrum thing and try and just do switch it. And later on ask someone to bowl over from like 15-16 yards, try and practice the same thing. But you got to practice like day in, day out. You got to give yourself like whatever, 10 days, 15 days, sometimes just 5 days maybe. But I think practicing with purpose helps you a lot.
Avyan Malik has a question. What should be the ideal age for a child to get enrolled for cricket coaching? Is there any particular age?
I don't think so. There is any age limit. You can start whenever you want to start, as long as you are actually passionate about the game and you want to enjoy the game. This game, as I said, teaches you a lot. Small things. I think respecting people, respecting groundsmen, respecting your teammates, that means a lot to me. But you can start this game anytime. There's no age limit. As long as you are passionate about this game and you want to give your best, you should start anytime.
Fast bowlers are quite nasty on the field, and Mitchell Johnson was somebody you played a lot, especially during the last tour before he retired. And there was a lot of chatter going on while you and Virat were batting. So can you just give us a small glimpse into what was happening and why were you guys so aggressively on that specific day?
No, I think our communication that time, I mean, when I went into bat, I think that time my intention was to take my time, take 20-25 minutes and then just play my natural game. And once I was in, the communication was to just put them on the back foot, because we knew that, I mean, whichever team did well in Australia, they played aggressive cricket. They played with intent. And we wanted to play with intent. We wanted to play aggressive cricket and put them on the back foot. And that's what we decided, that we'll go after them. We were not thinking about the results, as I said. We were not thinking about the outcome. We just wanted to put them under pressure. And that actually clicked. That we did well in that inning. I think partnership between Virat and I.
Melbourne.
Melbourne, 279. So, I think the communication was really important that time. It was all about, I think, having that positive mindset, positive communication. And
when you go into bat at different situations, do you have any specific thoughts about what is the way that you're going to play, or you let your instinct take in? So the Ranchi Test, recent 100, when you walked in, again, it was an early time when you walked in, but you were very aggressive when you started with a lot of rhythm, hitting boundaries. So do you plan that?
No, I play as it comes. I play on my instincts. Sometimes you got to react to the situations. You cannot plan things. So Ranchi innings, as you said, we were again 3 down for 39 or 40. So my thinking was, how can I put them on the back foot? How can we put them on the back foot rather than we take our time, and if we lose 1 or 2 wickets over there, we knew South Africa will be on top. So we don't want to do that. We wanted to put them on the back foot. So I think my intent was to just put them on the back foot. Just play with the intent, doesn't matter. So playing with intent doesn't mean that you just have to play shots. I think only having solid defense, having solid leaf is also really important. So I think playing with intent, me, Rohit and I, we were batting together, and I told Rohit that I'm going after them. I'm looking to attack them and putting them on the back foot, and he said, okay, go after it. So I think, again, as I said, communication between your partner, having trust in your partner is really important. So yeah, I played on my instincts and try and assess the situation however it comes.
Shiv Kalra wants to know, how did you deal with the pressure of captaining India for the first time in Dharamshala during the test match? How did you handle that pressure?
I think that was a very special moment for me. Captaining your country is really special, and I mean that was the toughest test match and toughest test series we have ever played in India. Series was 1-1 that time. Virat was injured, so the option was to play one batsman or one extra bowler. My thinking was, if you play one extra bowler, we had to take 20 wickets to win the test match and win the test series. So I picked Kuldeep Yadav in that game, and
5 bowlers.
Yeah, 5 bowlers. Terry, and he actually picked 4 crucial wickets in the first innings. Means a lot to me, and I really learned a lot from that test match.
Suresha had a question. When you sometimes get hit on the field, is there any way to combat the fear that you get from getting hit? Is there any specific thing that you do mentally to just combat that fear?
See, as I said, if you get hit on the field, just don't show, just don't react. It is tough, but that's why I said try and make your practice sessions really hard, so that when you go in the game, it becomes really easy for you. Don't be lazy during practice sessions. Make things really hard for yourself during practice sessions, so that whenever you are in the game, you are comfortable. So just if you get hit during the game, don't react, don't show anything, because if you show anything, if you react to those situations, your opponent will know that he is cracking under pressure. So it's all about mental game. It's all about mental toughness. So that's why I said, just whenever you're practicing, practice really hard and practice with purpose.
So I have a very interesting question, which is not cricketing, Ajinkya. He's saying that he's seen a couple of videos on your social media where you're singing to your daughter. So are you going, and you can check some singing sessions out on Piggy Ride, and are you giving any singing lessons about that? Can you give us some insight on that?
You can actually see my singing videos on Piggy Ride platforms. But yeah, I'm actually enjoying with my daughter. I mean, she makes me sing, and she gets really happy with that. And yeah, I mean, this is the best phase, is the best time, and actually it's a blessing for me that I'm spending these 3-4 months with her because of this lockdown. And yeah, I think with again, I'll say with singing, I learned my cooking during this 3-4 yeah, from my wife. So I could actually cook many dishes now. So yeah, but see, Piggy Ride is the platform for all the youngsters, for all the kids to actually explore things, what they want to do, what they want to achieve, and especially during these times, COVID-19. This is the best thing which have happened.
Riyansh Datta has a question. What is your favorite format? T20, ODIs or Tests?
I enjoy each and every format. Especially I love cricket. So Test cricket is obviously it's the ultimate format. It teaches you a lot. It challenges you a lot. But personally speaking, I love all 3 formats.
So there is a question about women's cricket.
Okay.
We are seeing cricket growing every year on year in India. So young girls who want to take up cricket profession, is there any advice that you want to give them?
Just try and be yourself. I think because I think especially women cricket is doing so well. Our Indian women cricket team is doing so well. try and learn as many things as possible. Don't try and copy any individual. Just be yourself. I think work really hard is like for any other cricketer. Just work really hard. I think there's a very good scope for women now. Especially as I said, women cricket is doing so well. So it's all about, I think, giving your best whatever cricket you are playing.
Again, interesting question. Do you prepare differently, or do you have any specific preparations when you get dismissed by a bowler multiple times?
Yes, I do different type of preparation whenever I get dismissed by a bowler. It's all about, I think, how can I, again, I'll insist that how can I put him on the back foot. You should not think that
going to back.
Yeah. You should not think that this bowler actually got me out like 2-3 times or 4 times. Your thinking should be, how can I dominate him every time? How can I go after him? So I think converting your mind into positive ones rather than thinking about what if I get out again to this same bowler. So yes, I do practice that way. I do visualization in that way, but also during a practice session, I see that how can I play that particular ball in a different way.
This is a question from Jagrav Patel. He's saying, is there any specific technique which you should apply against spin bowlers to face them?
I think your footwork is really important playing spinners. Be it whether you play on the back foot or front foot, I think your footwork is really important. Playing as late as possible for spinners is very important. Yeah.
Okay, great. So I think we have questions now. Is there any message, Ajinkya, that you want to give Piggy Ride and all the young cricketers who are there? Any specific message before we log off?
So I think for Piggy Ride, I think this is the best platform, and just want to congratulate you guys that you started all this. This is the best thing you have done for all the kids. For kids, this is the biggest platform, best platform to actually explore yourself, try and see how what can you do, and try and see what can you achieve, especially times like this. And for all the kids, whatever you want to do with cricket or any other sport or any other profession, try and give your best. Try and be passionate in your profession. Be respectful with each and every individual, and be truthful for yourself and believe in yourself. To all the parents, try and support your children. Let them do what they want to do. Your support means a lot to them, and I can actually assure you that mom and dad support means a lot. So please support them, and just be passionate.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much,
Piggy Ride, also for giving everybody this opportunity to talk to you. And we'll wrap up here, and you can get back to your parenting duties now.
Thank you so much. Thank you. My daughter is waiting for me. Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye.